Good afternoon.
Hello,
Hello, who are you?
I'm Charlotte Church.
Hello, Charlotte. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, how's your day been so far?
Pretty good. We drove up from Cardiff this morning, the whole band, which took about 3.5 hours, which isn't bad. And now we're here at a vintage shop, and I'm going to try and fit in as much vintage shopping as possible.
Amazing, amazing. And so, you released your new EP on Monday?
Yeah, I released a new EP, which is called One, last Monday, which is pretty exciting. It's also pretty scary because it's a self-release, so I'm kind of doing it all and funding it all myself, which is pretty scary. But then again, it's the only way to keep total artistic control nowadays, which is a sad fact, but unfortunately, kind of the way it is.
Yeah, so artistic control is obviously one of the most important factors for you.
Well, it is nowadays. It kind of always has been, but I've just never been in a position where I had it really, because I was always controlled by big corporations really, who had a massive say in everything, because essentially they're putting their money behind it and they've got their own ideas, and then you end up with 10 A&R men all trying to have something to say about it. And I think a lot of the art is lost, or at least compromised. And I think if you're trying to do something that's original and innovative and that touches people, compromise doesn't work.
Do you look at your back catalogue and think of any, spot the songs you're proud of and the songs that you're not?
Yeah, often. And there's bits and bobs that I like. Unfortunately for me, it's all a bit throwaway. But then again, I was only just starting to write as well. I only started writing when I was about 16, 17. And of course, you're going through your tumultuous teenage years as well then. So, yeah. But yeah, I look back and I just think, oh, I was little and I wish... I kind of wish I was a bit more grown up and I was a bit more forceful, a bit stronger with what I wanted to do, but there we are.
So saying that, what would you say to girls of that age, 16, 17, who are trying to break the music industry now?
I think the most important thing is to actually have talent. If you are a gifted singer, musician, songwriter, then absolutely fine. In order to break through in any way that is credible, that's going to make you feel good about yourself, you've got to make sure that the foundation is strong. Not that you've just got a pretty face, you can half hold a tune, because unfortunately there's a lot of people out there who are simply that. And that's a shame. But that sells at the minute, but fame for fame's sake is a tough path.
Shows like X Factor, they seem to focus more on what you just mentioned. People should not focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. All of the reality TV, a lot of it has helped to make the record industry collapse around us. And it's sad. I can't listen to hardly anything mainstream. I can't really listen to the radio. It just makes me sad that the music that moves the majority of people isn't moving or isn't at all emotional.
Yeah.
And I find that really sad. Yeah.
So saying that if Calvin Harris or David Guetta knocked on your door with a surefire top 10 hit, would you turn it down?
Yeah. Don't dig it.
Yeah.
I quite like Calvin Harris. I quite like some of the things Calvin Harris does, because he's kind of smart with it, like that Born in the 80s song.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind of smart. David Guetta I saw David Guetta live once, and we were at a festival, and there's nothing else on, let's go and see Guetta. And it was unbelievably entertaining. I mean, I still don't buy into his music, but it was unbelievably entertaining, to be fair. But no, to be honest, I wouldn't compromise for anything at this juncture in my life. It's just not worth it for me anymore.
Cool. So going back to the DIY ethos, are you also going to consider yourself as a label manager? Are you going to look at sort of developing other acts? Or?
I'd like to. At the minute, my time is tiny, because we're trying to basically, what we're doing is we're trying to push this whole thing where we should have like 10 people on different things, but we're kind of trying to do it all ourselves and stuff. So that's pretty busy, and touring and still trying to write and record, and I've got 2 small children, and they're always the priority. So it's pretty busy at the minute, but I'd love to produce actually, because we built a studio basically we started recording some tracks in the garage and thought this will do, we should build something here that resembles a studio. So built a nice little studio. It's a bit rough around the edges, but works nicely. It was basically me, my partner Jonathan, and his business partner Gethin John, who is by trade a mix engineer and whatnot, who produced it, so us three. And I've really enjoyed the production side of it. I've really enjoyed getting into. I didn't realise how much the drums meant to me. That's all I'm ever really interested in. That's also because I'm lazy, because Jonathan's such a melodist as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
quite a melodist in terms of vocal melodies. He's a classically trained viola player and he plays the guitar and everything else. So I'm just straight up, I'm all about the rhythm, the bass and the drums. And I've really enjoyed that, so I'd like to produce people. Yeah, so I'm hopefully going to do a web series as well.
Oh, okay.
A music web series.
Can you tell us much about that, or is it
Absolutely. Basically, once again, just doing it all myself, just because it's the only way to get anything done. But yeah, I've had lots of different meetings with TV people saying, you know, there needs to be more music on television, and I'd love to front some sort of show which was just, you know, showcasing proper music, not just, you know, people doing the rounds promoting, you know, proper music, proper bands, you know, with no, how do I say, with no commodities, no frills, just, you know, no selling point. Do you know what I mean? Just good music, but nobody will take it. Apparently nobody watches music on TV anymore, which I think is bollocks, quite frankly. So yeah, I thought maybe I'll try and do it with a web series. So we're going to do a pilot first, see how it goes, and see if people are interested, etc. If people are interested, then I'll keep trying to churn them out and get some interest in it.
Is this something that will possibly surface this year, or you
possibly, maybe towards the end of the year. But yeah, just to get different people who are, you know, under the radar.
Yeah.
And kind of throw all of those different musicians together here. But also, I kind of had the idea that I wanted it to be in cool places, maybe outdoors in forests or whatever. But just because it's outdoors and doesn't mean it should be stripped back, that then all of a sudden it's acoustic. If it's a six-piece band, you know, with crazy synths, I want to hear a six-piece band with crazy synths in the forest. So that'll be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah,
yeah, fingers crossed.
Cool. So going back to the music industry, what do you make of the state of the music industry at the moment, that they're constantly fighting music piracy, yet fans seem to sort of love an artist but be happy to sort of download their music illegally?
Well, it's difficult. It's been happening over a long time, actually. This is no new phenomenon, and I think the music industry has been crumbling for a long time, failed to catch on to it as soon as it was happening. I think it all could have been different if the big boss men who were in charge would have realised what was going on and sorted it out sooner, to be honest. So, I mean, what can you do? It's the way that it is. I mean, I hope it'll become fairer, because, you know, when you think of other artists, then, you know, I know there's this, you know, DVD piracy and whatnot, but a lot of other artists get paid fairly for their work, and it seems that musicians particularly suffer because of piracy, which is sad, because it's not an easy path to choose, actually, you know, with the touring lifestyle, and
there's not much glitz and glamour with it anymore.
Yeah, it's not a very glamorous life to choose, and sometimes it can be really difficult, especially if you are just under the surface, want to do nothing else in your life apart from make music and perform, and you know that you're good enough, but you can't make it, there's not enough money in it, then it's a hard industry to be in and to break through into. So I'd like to be able to, as much as I possibly could, help people by way of things like the web series and things like that.
Thanks for taking the time out to chat this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.